Hello, and welcome to another Franchise Hockey Manager stream. My name is Adam. I'm the Community Manager of Franchise Hockey. With me is as always, FHM producer Jeff. Say hi, Jeff.
Hey everybody.
And we're going to do a quick couple recaps because, as you know, we've started some new campaigns, but, Jeff and I both want to take a quick look at, how the season's turned out for a couple of our franchises. So, first up, we have our Ottawa franchise, which was the 1992-1993 season. It was expansion year, so we drafted our team and we tried to make the playoffs and didn't.
Bearing in mind that the actual Senators only had 24 points that year and were one of the worst teams in the history of the league.
Absolutely. So we can take a quick look here and see Bruce Wayne, though, was named GM of the year because, well, he led Ottawa to a record of 26, 52, and 6. So even though we didn't win, we still did very well. And more importantly...
Yeah, the GM of the year
Sorry, go ahead.
Generally goes to the GM who had the biggest improvement, one of the GMs who had the biggest improvement from year to year, and there's a lot of leeway given to team GM. So if you do reasonably well with those, you've got a pretty good chance at getting GM of the year. So, yeah. And that's what's happened in this case. We did very well, actually.
Yeah.
Doubled, or about 2.5 times total.
Yeah, exactly. CS312 in the chat says hello, and hello to you too. Thanks for tuning in. In this alternative universe, the Montreal Canadiens, of course, did not win the Stanley Cup because the Pittsburgh Penguins did, and they repeated. Actually, I don't know that they won the year before, and we'll take a quick look at that. But the Penguins beat the Red Wings, which is
they won. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry, I went the wrong. 91, 92. Yeah, that would have been this would have been 3 in a row for them.
Yeah, but we simmed through the 92 season to do the expand.
Right.
So
yeah.
I don't know if they actually won. So we'll take a quick look at that. We can also see some, things happened. Our owner was fairly happy. He just says we're rebuilding, and that's kind of the big thing. We also saw development. Our team's still very young, still a long way to go for a lot of stuff. Some coaching changes, but I saw Mark Howe retired from hockey at age 38 in 1993 in our game.
Yep. Well,
which I'm not sure.
Presumably going to the Hall of Fame a little faster than he did in real life.
I would hope so. We're going to look to the history of our league, and we can see, Washington actually won it in the 91-92 season. So.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't not 3 in a row for the Penguins then?
But it's 2 out of 3 years. So not too bad. Taking a quick look, we can look at, and if I click on the year here, we can see Paul Coffey led the league in assists. Theo Fleury had 64 goals to lead the league. Mark Messier led the league with 142 points. So lots of stuff going on. Let's go see.
Yep, okay. Everything worked out. It was a reasonably good game for us. With starting where Ottawa was, you're not going to get anywhere near the playoffs realistically, and we took a pretty good run at it.
Yeah, so if we take quick standings here, we can see we finished 6th in the Adams division. Missed the playoffs by a number of points. What do we got? 75 and... Yeah, 75 points. So we finished 17 back. A little bit of quick math. But, overall good season at 26, 52, and 6. We had a goal differential of 101, or minus 101, which isn't great. But compared to, the people who we came in the league with, which was Tampa Bay, they finished at 16, 64, and 4 for 36 points. And we're a minus 187 goal differential. So I consider that a victory.
Yeah, definitely. Starting from the same point they did, we if you had missed the episode, we completely redrafted the team right from scratch. So we're both starting at the same point as Tampa Bay, and we did a lot better than they did. So again, pretty good game for us.
Yeah, and if we just take a quick look at our stats, team stats is if I click on us, we can see our skater stats and see we were led by Craig Simpson, despite only playing 55 games, scored 25 goals for us, leading.
Yeah, Simpson had a little sort of late career comeback in this game.
Yeah, and Robert Lang led us with 55 assists, followed closely by Sergei Zubov. So not bad. There's some pieces to grow around. And Chris King had 249 penalty minutes. Taking a quick look.
Yep, typical early 90s penalty total. And the big pickup there was Matt Sundin, who we got from Quebec.
Yes. And, we were flipping players, kind of setting our team up here. Let's take a quick look at the roster before we move on. We still got Czechmanek.
I want to just take a quick look before we go on. I just want to have a quick look at Quebec and see how Eric Lindros did for the years.
Okay, sure.
I'll actually playing for the Sens that are holding out.
Go back here for a second and click on Quebec. And we can see Eric Lindros had 30 goals, 49 assists for 79 points, and 104 penalty minutes while finishing a plus 36 with 6 power play goals and 238 shots on net.
Yeah, so I guess he wound up liking Quebec after all. Pretty good year.
Turns out, yeah. So played in all 84 games and was the assistant captain on the team. So overall not too bad. But again, we'll just take a quick little roster look here before we move on. We have some.
Yep.
Look at our full potential, and we got. Oh, this is the Nordiques. That makes me more sad when I was looking at their team. So we have Matt Sundin, we have Sergei Zubov, Matthew Snyder, Robert Lang, Joe Mullen, and Claude Lemieux with Czechmanek to help, on our team right now. Taking a quick look at our protector list, we still got Daniel Sundin coming, Nikolai Habibulin, Thomas Holstrom. Sorry?
Alfredson, not Sundin.
Did I say Sundin? Okay, well, we have Sundin, and Alfredson. Oh, whatever.
No, you said Sundin, Daniel Sundin.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a slip up. Okay. But,
Just a tiny one.
Yeah. Well, we have some pieces to build around, and between the free agency and draft, things could be interesting in the 93-94 season. So you never know. Maybe watch our social media pages. Maybe something else will continue to happen with this game.
Yep.
Anything else you want to look at before we switch?
No, let's have a look at the Leafs, which didn't go quite as well as this game did.
All right, so let's pull up this Leafs campaign here.
While you're doing that, I should mention if anybody hasn't seen today, we did put out a maintenance update that fixed a few things that were left over from that hot fix last week. Mainly stuff to do with the strategy screen and the tactical roles. There were some display problems there that we didn't quite have cleaned up all the way, but should be okay now. I did a really check on them before we put that in, before we released it. I've gone through I don't know how many different saves, switching between teams and looking at strategy screens for all of them, in game, out of game, and everything seems to be displaying as it should now. So hopefully we're done with that. We fixed a bug that had been kind of confusing us for quite a while. We had reports that people were mysteriously getting trades. They weren't getting a response back to their trades, or weren't able to complete a trade that apparently had been accepted. Turns out there's a little glitch. There was a glitch where if you made a trade, or if you had a trade active and then you deleted the news item, that was somehow deactivating a trade. So we finally figured that out with some help from somebody who was nice enough to upload a video of them making trades and showing us exactly what they had done, and we finally clued in from that. And so we got that fixed, and there's a few other smaller fixes in there as well. So hopefully that is the last time we're going to have to update it. That should everything should be nice and stable now, should run properly, and if you've been waiting to start a game for before everything got updated, now would be a good time to do it.
Absolutely. All right, so we got our Toronto Maple Leafs campaign loaded up here. We can see the Leafs finished in 11th place with 72 points, missing the playoffs. by 18 points. Again, that's odd that they're both 18 points. I just realized that. So
yeah, I mean we're nowhere near as good as the actual Leafs were or have been this year. I think they're at 67 points already, and we still got 20 plus games left in the season. We only had 72.
Yeah. So we can see Toronto finished with a record of 32, 42, and 8 for 72 points. Unfortunately, they had a goal differential of negative 73, which sure doesn't help you make the playoffs.
And the other coincidence in this game, Stanley Cup, also won by the Penguins.
Which could have easily happened, you know? I mean, that's not out of the realm of possibility this year. The Jets finished with, because I just have to look to see what the Jets finished. They finished over 500, but still in last place. I'm still not sure they're going to be over 500 this year, but hey, you never know. Taking a little bit look at the
Canucks somehow finished with 93 points, which, yeah, I wish.
Yeah. So take a look, and we have leading our team, Jacob Voracek, who we picked up in a trade, had 74 points, followed by Austin Matthews with 64. I believe Voracek also led us in goals. He did with 30, and I think he was second in assists with 44 to Austin Matthews 45. Plus minus leader.
One thing I should mention for this, a lot of the game, we started this game right at the beginning of the year before we did a mid-season update to a lot of the ratings, so the player ratings are probably for some guys are going to be quite a bit different from the way they actually have played this season.
Absolutely.
So if you're starting a game now, you'll get probably considerably different results, particularly some of the teams that have done really well, the Columbus and the way the Capitals have been aided.
Yeah, so we can see Jacob Voracek played in 85 games this year, which is kind of awesome.
Oh yeah, we didn't even realize. I think we set a record there, didn't we? I think record was 84.
Yeah, so that's
traded for him just at the right time.
Yeah, picked him up right, so he could play 85 games. He was the only guy on our team to
finish.
Because
I remember we had games at hand for a lot of the season until we finally caught up later in the year.
Yeah, so he is the only player to finish with a plus minus of 0 or above who played in most of the games, which is rather sad when you think about it. But
well, technically he was -3 with us. He had +3 from being with the Flyers.
Okay. Take a quick look. We can see Matt Marchation had a shooting percentage of 15%, which is pretty impressive. Voracek's not far behind at 13.4 as well, which is very excellent shooting percentages, really.
Actually, let me show you a little trick here. I don't think people may not realize. If right now we're looking at the roster screen, so it's only showing the stats for active roster players. Okay. Click on contracts, and then you switch to stats summary like we were doing before, and that'll still bring up the stats screen. That'll show you everybody that's got a contract, even guys that are on the injured list right now.
All right.
So this will give you the full list of everybody who's in the organization, how many points they had that year.
Excellent.
Because I think there's probably some guys. I think Soshnikov. That's probably the only one. That's how you get. That's the easy way to get the full roster picture at the end of the year. Well, at any time during the year, rather than having to look back and forth between the stat results for the between the active roster and the injury list, and then maybe having to find the minor league guys too. This will show you it all in one place.
So that's going to contracts, then going over to your drop-down box and going to stats summary then.
Yeah.
Good to know. And so, is there anything else you want to talk about this save? I guess we should look at the league standings, perhaps.
Well, not a whole lot to see. Of interest to see there. Crosby won the scoring race, beat Malkin by 3 points.
I just noticed the Pacific Division was the only team that didn't have anybody in 100 points.
Sorry, you dropped out there? Any team that didn't have what?
100 points was in the Pacific Division. Okay,
not that surprising.
Crosby had 115 points to Alex Ovechkin's, Malkin's 112. Crosby had 66 assists, very impressive as well. And that goals.
And it is
58 goals for Ovechkin, 56 for Malkin, and 49 for Crosby. That is a good year for him.
And one thing in the standings that I just noticed kind of relates to the game we are going to play today. The Wings actually finished first in the Atlantic somehow.
Well, you know, they have some problems. They've had some injury bugs. Had some guys
They must have really turned it on after. It looks like they had a big season from Mrazek in goal. That's probably what did a lot of it.
I would imagine. Okay, and so we can see lots of
shots. No, we should probably take a look at the entry draft just out of interest, because I think you'll kind of like the result.
NHL entry draft. Nolan Patrick, first overall to the Winnipeg Jets. Don't mind it at all.
Yep, he won the lottery again. So Patrick and Lina, that would not be too bad.
That'd be an okay
combination. I would uptake.
I mean, don't get me wrong. You still got Brian Little and Mark Scheifele, so that's fine. Cal Foote goes number 9 overall to New Jersey. Interesting.
Yeah, that was actually my. I was considering looking at him for the Leafs. I did the draft on my own, so. And I figured, hey, let's enrage John Cherry by taking a Russian for the Leafs, and I went with Costin instead.
Well, now it's a problem of whether he'll come sign with us or not.
Yeah.
He may or may not. And we can see Owen Tippett. 4th, Timmy Liljegren, who some think could go first overall too. Goes 3rd to Philadelphia Flyers. Who'd you take in the 2nd round? That's a better question.
Yep. Who did I take in the 2nd round? That was
Urho-Pekka Luukkonen.
Yeah, the best. He's
Golden.
Central Scouting him as of right now is the highest rated European goalie, and
is that how you say that? Urho-Pekka Luukkonen? I'm not even sure.
Sure it is.
That's the best guess I could give for you how to say that name.
Yeah, I'll go along with that.
Okay, so we got some goaltender reinforcements. I'm just looking to see. Okay, Toronto Maple Leafs took another Finnish player, or defenseman, UC Välimäki. Juuso Välimäki.
Yeah, that was with. They've got the second round pick. He's actually playing for Tri-Cities of the WHL.
Okay, I just
decent size on him, and he's close to NHL already. You can see he's actually 2 stars in the talent rating. So,
oh geez, Don Cherry
actually got their late 2nd round playing.
Don Cherry would be very upset with you. 2 Americans, 1 Canadian, and the rest are Europeans.
Yeah, well, Cherry's happy if the Leafs wins, so I don't think he'd be too mad at me. It was a good draft.
Yeah, just nice reinforcements of a lot of things. Christian Reichel. Okay. Exactly what the team needed. So I think we're doing pretty good. Is there anything else we need to look at, or you think that's good?
No, I think we pretty much have it covered there. Let's get over to the Wings game, and we can try. I don't think we're going to do as well as the Wings did in that Leafs game, but we can hopefully at least try to improve on what they're doing this year, because it sounds like they're about to start a sell-off.
Yes,
Center, somebody said today that they were basically telling other teams they're open for business at this point. They're dead last in the Atlantic.
Yeah, but they're not going to let anybody go for free. Although they talked about like Thomas Vanek could be a rental player, I believe I heard. And they might try and bring him back.
I saw one thing where Drew Miller has been sent down. He's in the AHL right now. Is hoping he gets traded, but dude, you got demoted from a last place team. Why exactly would you figure anybody would want you?
Yeah. All right, so we are looking here at the Detroit Red Wings screen. We can take a quick look at the roster. As we can see, it's been a couple weeks since we looked at things. We seem pretty well set in a lot of our stuff. We established a new set of strategies, kind of got everything set up the way we liked it. Yeah, you can see that previous stream on our YouTube channel.
Yep. Signed 40-year-old Patrick Elias.
That is correct.
I think actually should be injured technically, but he isn't in the game. probably wind up being our third line left wing, I think. Or did we have him on the fourth?
He's our third line left winger.
No, we got him on the third. Yeah. With Ott and Nyquist.
Yeah.
Interesting line.
There's not a huge amount for us to do at this point. It's going to be more or less kind of, see how things go. We're currently in the preseason here, so I'm just going to quickly run through this game against Toronto and skip through it. And we won 5-3, so that's good.
Yeah, one thing you can try to do in the preseason now is to build up a hot streak for one or maybe both of your goalies. So keep an eye on that on the strategy screen and where the flame and the snowflake icon are. Yes, ideally, we want one of those guys to get a decent number, so it'll drop down a little bit at the start of the season, but if we can get them up 2 or 3, we might have a little bit of an advantage to start the year.
Absolutely. We just were looking at the strategy screen, and I believe Jimmy Howard was on fire and Mrazek was cold. So Mrazek was starting.
Yeah. Well, Howard's only got the one flame, so that's relatively low as far as hot.
So I should probably switch him for this game because, we're still in the preseason. And Mrazek can come in and see if he gets a little bit hot versus this game versus Montreal.
Yeah.
Especially on back-to-back nights. And we'll just sit him through this game as well. And we lost 7-1, so that's probably not going to do a lot for his confidence.
No, I don't think so. That's probably going to keep him back with that -1 there, or 0 hotness with the. And the other thing you can do now, we should show that before we start the next game. If we want to switch the goalies back, you can switch the goalie from the pre-game screen.
Okay. Well, I just had done it. I'll leave it then. Okay, I'll leave it and we'll look once we get to the next.
Actually, it looks like Howard got put in for the last little after the 7th goal, played the last minute or so.
Yeah.
Mrazek really wanted to get out of there.
Yeah, he was just done. I'm just gonna take a quick look at our roster here. Is there anybody we should maybe have on our trade block?
Maybe Marchenko. He's he's relatively young, but he's kind of hit his potential already. Maybe able to get something value for him. We really have to decide what we're gonna maybe play a bit, get about 20 games in the season, decide how it's looking, and think if we want to build for the long term.
Yeah, I'm also going to put Drew Miller
take a shot at it this year
on the trade block as well. 1.5 stars.
Yep, he's kind of on his way out of the league. So.
Yeah, we'll keep our eye on, and I'll put Luke Glendening as well on the trade block. Keep our eye out on the, and Callahan's going on the trade block too. Keep our eye on the waiver wire, see if anybody of interest pops up. Because I believe we only have about 45 guys under contract, so we got a little bit of wiggle room there.
Yeah, we can add a few. 46, actually, looks like.
46, okay.
Yes.
Contracts. 46, my bad. So even more reason to try and move somebody. Okay, so I'm at my screen. I want to change my goalies. How do I do it, Jeff?
Okay, I'm just waiting for the screen to catch up. I'm a couple of seconds behind you on the game, but the way to do it is to look at the strategy screen. Okay. And the... I'm trying to do this from memory now, and I can't.
I want to click on special, don't I? Yeah.
It's special, yeah, that's right.
And then I can come here and I see my...
That's the one place where we could fit it. It's the into the special teams. So in special, and you'll be able to switch your goalies there.
All right, so I'll switch my
goalies. That way you don't have to, if you forget to do it, like I always do in the when you're looking at the main strategy screen between games, you've now got a way around it, and you can do it here. And the other thing we did, you can alter the shootout spots during the game too. So if it looks like you're headed for a shootout, you can stop it with a couple of seconds left and juggle your shootout spots around a bit if you want.
Okay. Well, I just quickly simmed through our game here, and we won 5-4 with Howard back in net. So things are not looking great for our goaltender. Jonathan Erickson just got
hurt. We're going to start Howard, we will, but bad?
Yeah, day to day. We got a question in the chat from PWOG66 says, isn't next year expansion draft 2? Well, it technically will be in the NHL, assuming Las Vegas makes its payments.
Yeah, well, I mean, we can do that in this game. If we get that far, we can have an expansion draft. Only the way it works in the game, you have to expand by 2 teams at a time. So we'll add Las Vegas and maybe Seattle.
Yeah.
Good to creative. Another question: are new free agent personnel generated every year in Path to Glory mode? I think the way it works, some new personnel will be created out of retiring players, and if the personnel levels drop below a certain level, it will generate some new ones. Yeah.
All right.
It generates new free agent staff as you need them every year in an ongoing game. If there's enough already, it probably won't generate any.
Okay. Just take a quick look in our news file. We got an update on an ECHL trade deal. Now, I don't particularly need to know too much about what's going on in the ECHL, so I'm not sure why we're getting those though.
That may be somebody, one of those guys. Let me just.
One of our prospects.
Or on your rights, yeah, somebody on your rights list or big list.
Okay, well that would make sense. I just.
Oh wait, no, Toledo's your ECHL affiliate. That's right.
Okay, well that makes more sense then. If for some reason you happen to get more on and you accidentally, or if you're playing Path to Glory and you move leagues, you can go to your manager options under your manager tab and change where you get what new subscriptions you get. Obviously, we're in the NHL, so we only really care too much about the NHL transactions. And so we got a game against Nashville here. Let's actually put Mrazek in for this game because we play versus Montreal the next day, and I think after that 7-1 game, we should maybe give Mrazek the day off of playing against Montreal again. How does that sound?
That's probably a good idea. I think so.
I should check to see. Okay, Erickson's day-to-day, he's at 100% though. Minor facial cut, so he cut himself shaving. No big deal. Sim the game through and we won 3-2 again, so. Alright, finally a win for Mrazek.
Okay, good, and that hopefully gets his heat rating up a little bit.
We'll take a quick look here. Once we finish, we see Vancouver lost like normal. Or did Vancouver have a really good preseason this year? I don't.
Yeah, we actually did have a pretty good preseason. Got everybody's hopes up, and now the media bandwagon is screaming to tear the team apart. Apparently, Anna Hansen put in a list of 8 teams he's willing to be traded to yesterday or today.
He's on a partial no-trade clause? I did not know that.
Yep.
Okay, so Mrazek is still cold, but maybe he's less cool. But we're going to put Howard in for Montreal, and again, sim this game through quickly here. And we lost 4-3. But, it's not the end of the world. We will continue to push.
We've got season opener coming up now against Tampa. A few days here, so. Oh, and keep an eye. I would go back. I would use the manager home screen as a default screen for the next couple of days, just so you can keep an eye on the waiver wire. Going to be a bunch of guys being sent down at the start of the season, so you'll have your pick of them.
So how do I do that? for someone who doesn't know?
Click on the little as soon as as soon as it stops simming.
Yeah, okay, I'm at the main screen at the moment.
Okay, go up to click the little house icon where it says Manager Home under your at the top left.
Manager. What am I looking here? Okay, there we go. Yep.
And you can see there's a waivers.
Okay, no, I thought you said
down.
switch the screen off the news to save to here.
Say again?
I thought you said switch it so that the main screen is going to that screen.
Oh, okay. No, I'm just saying go back to that screen after every day to make sure you're seeing everybody who's on waivers.
Well, I'm going to switch to show my home screen after advancing day to day, which you can do by going to your game options setup /options. And so we'll switch. We also have use goalie start settings off. I'm going to turn that on as well, in case we're not paying enough attention. And we will continue here to sim again. See if anyone turns up on waivers. PWOG66 asks in the chat, since the Wings are in selling mode, who do you think will be traded away?
It'd be interesting if they move Zetterberg, and I don't think that's going to happen.
I would be very shocked if they did that.
Yeah. Mike Green would be probably a pretty good candidate, but is he really a playoff guy? Puts up points, but
well, I think
shaky defensively.
Sportsnet, Elliot Friedman had his article today and talking about that they wouldn't actually try and move him.
Wouldn't move Green or would move?
Yeah, wouldn't move Green. So we can see Mike Condon got put on waivers. And we're going to take a quick look at the whole waivers because there's quite a few guys on there. And so if we go to our front office tab, our front office under league, and then click on waivers, we can see everyone who's available. So Nicholas Jensen, any thoughts on him?
Not too impressed by him when he was with the Canucks.
Okay.
So I don't know if he's worth picking up there. Condon 2.5 stars, but that's not better than either one of our goalies, so that's not really worth doing.
I wonder if somebody like Quentin Howden might not be a bad pickup for us.
Although he looks his potential's kind of low. We'd want probably somebody who's at least 2 stars, maybe a 1.5 star guy, but that's funny. Zadkov is on waivers. The Kings just put him on waivers in real life.
Yeah, well, that was going to happen at some point, I think.
Yeah.
Anthony Peluso, pick up some grind. I'm thinking Quentin Howden might not be a bad choice. 1.5 stars, potential of 2.
Yeah. And he worked out not too badly for us in that Jets game we played last year in FHM too. So.
Claim player.
Just for old time's sake, let's pick him up.
Yeah. Anybody else jumping out?
Did I see a Sutter in there somewhere? Which one was that?
Sutter.
I thought I just when you were scrolling back to Howden, I thought briefly saw Sutter.
Chris Kunitz got
Try sorting up by name.
What?
At 37.
Okay, Ryan Reeves got waived with a UNF designation. What does that mean?
Unfit. He showed up for camp in poor shape, so he'll start the season with lower fitness rating.
Okay. Does that affect like how his percentage of that he has?
Yeah, you can see it's pretty low right now. That'll drop off eventually, but he starts out slower than the normal player would.
Okay. I'm just looking through here. I don't know where you saw him, so
Just sorted by name. You can,
sort it by name. Oh, well, that is so smart.
yeah.
Clicking on the names, we see A, and let's scroll down here to the. Let's try that the other way, so I don't have to switch pages. S.
Maybe it wasn't even there. I might have been seeing things.
Schultz. Jeff Schultz. Schilling. I do not see a Sutter.
Yeah, okay. I'm imagining things then. Ignore me.
Alright. Cole Snyder. Who's. What do you know about this Cole Snyder? Buffalo Sabres. Ottawa player as well.
Just looking at how he's been doing this year. Yeah, played a little bit for the Sabres this year, 4 games, but
Not a big deal.
I think yeah, he was with Ottawa before that.
So he would have been part of the liner trade? Would that be right?
No, that was they right near the trading deadline last year. They traded a bunch of it was basically all minor leaguers and prospects.
Yeah. I don't really see anyone else of too much interest.
Eric Odell, who was with the Jets for a while, was in that, and I think the biggest guy in it was Jason Akeson. So
Eric Odell's with Buffalo? No, I did not know that.
Yep.
I don't. Do you see anyone else here? I'm a little bit tempted by Chris Kunitz, but
we already got Elias, so that's one.
Yeah, that's
one
kinda-
elderly winger is enough.
Mike Condon, could be interesting, but we don't really need him.
Yeah, it's kind of. Who's our third string guy? We got Jared Coreau
Yep.
in Grand Rapids. Not bad. 1.5 stars. I think that's probably good enough.
Let's claim. We'll just claim Quentin Howden hit next year and see if we get him.
Yeah. And we can always take a look again the next day too, because you may see more movement as teams grab guys on waivers and drop somebody else to make room.
Yes.
There'll probably be a little echo of this day in the
Red Wings claim Quentin Howden, so.
Okay, there we go. Good.
Take a little look at our roster. We now have 24 guys, so we have to send somebody down. And I think maybe Mitch Callahan's the guy to send down. Unless it's... Or Luke Glendening. Oh, geez, he's on a 5-year deal?
Who is Glendening?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Whew. Oh, Gustav Nyquist got hurt. When did that happen? Broken nose.
Oh, okay. Well, nothing big at least.
Well, it says it's a major
Actually,
injury.
checking. Maybe he's got a big nose.
Who's the best guy? Should we send Drew Miller down? Put him on waivers? I don't mind that.
Well, yeah, that's what actually happened. So
Let's leave Drew Miller, and we will then dress everybody's favorite Quinton Howden and put him in the lineup. Okay, whoa. Let's take a look here. Riley Sheenan is 2.0. We should probably move him up to the second line left winger then, right?
what's he rated at left wing?
He's playing left wing on
center.
a fourth line. So
He's only 14 on left wing, so can we work him into center somewhere? He's 14 on left wing, 20 on center, 16 on right wing, so he's not going to be that great on left wing.
well, we could switch him with Steve Ott. Would probably work.
Yeah, Odd can play the wing, okay.
But who do we want on our
Yeah, he's-
second? Do you want to move Patrick Elias up to the second line left wing? I mean, we could put Quentin
Wait,
Howden there.
where's Abdulkader, or where's Vanek? No, you got Vanek on the right wing on the first line.
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe you do these lines.
I think that was just
P166 says, what happens if you put Zetterberg on your trade offer in your game? He probably gets angry.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do it now anyhow because he misses the first month or so, the month or two of the season with a knee injury. So the offers you're going to get back are, if you get any of them, are going to be pretty sad.
Elias. I don't know. Should we try Quentin Howden up on the second line? Let him run, see what happens.
I can give him a shot. I mean, he's kind of an offensive guy, so it may work.
We'll try it out. Let's hope Nyquist gets healthy. We just got told we got Quentin Howden, which we already saw. Thanks to our news stories. A trade between New York and Columbus. Antti Ranta goes to Columbus for a 4th-round pick. And Nyquist will be back soon.
And we should be just about around to our season opener on the 13th, on the 11th now.
Yeah, we are on our season opener here. Take a quick look. Nyquist can play, but his nose is still hurt. But he's almost perfect. He'll be fine. Alright, so let's play this game versus Tampa Bay. Take a quick look. We have Howard's got... Oh, he was at 2 Flames. Now he's down to 1 again. That's okay. I think we've...
Yeah, that's the thing. When you go from when the stage of the season changes from, say, the exhibition season to the regular season, or from the regular season to the playoffs, all the goalies automatically cool off by 1 unless they're already at a rating of 1.
All right.
So that you keep most of your momentum going from season phase to season phase, but it slows down a little bit.
Okay. So we'll throw in Howden. Actually, I guess we never quickly checked, and I should. Just checking to make sure I don't have any open spots, and I do have 1. Let's get Quentin Howden on that. For the spots that were taken by the guy we sent down, whose name is suddenly escaping me.
Miller,
thank you. And we'll play this game.
So 6-4 loss in real life, so let's see if we can improve on that.
We'll see how it goes. It can't be any worse, I mean. Well, it could be worse, but let's hope it's not worse.
Could be a lot worse.
Now, Jeff, you know I'm a Winnipeg Jets fan, but I'm also a Red Wings fan, too, as well. And why is Mrazek in net? What happened?
Did you...
It changed.
Did you change something on this strategy screen? I think the AI might have switched goalies and maybe you didn't notice.
Should I put Howard in now or leave Mrazek in?
No, leave Mrazek in. Start with him, no point in pulling him out mid-game. So that'll only mess up his heat rating worse.
Yeah. Oh, what I was going to say.
Yeah, because you turned the AI goalie selection on, so it's that's what it's going to do. You'll have, if you want, you can always override it at the start of the game, but you may want to check that screen before you go into a game to make sure the goalie is starting that you expect to be starting.
Well then perhaps I should shut that off then to make sure that doesn't happen. What I was going to say was I've been a Detroit Red Wings fan actually since the Jets left, basically. I couldn't cheer for Phoenix.
Could have jumped on the bandwagon, right?
Well, no, they hadn't won the cup yet. They had lost, but I mean, my family has been a Red Wings family for a long time. Lots of Red Wings fans, tracing back to the original 6 days. And we score. Riley Sheehan scores, assisted by Erickson, and our 40-year-old pickup, Patrick Elias. It's 1-1.
Yes, I may have a little bit left in him.
Not too bad, not too bad. We're currently out shooting them 7-6. And things are going okay, so at the end of one period, we're getting outshot 8-7, but we're tied up 1-1. And we can see
hanging in there pretty well.
Sorry,
hanging in there pretty well so far.
Yeah, we can see Tampa Bay's power play versus Detroit's penalty kills 50-36. Offense to Detroit's defense 72-66. Detroit's offense to Tampa Bay's defense 67-73.
You could probably switch around one of our, see if you can get that advantage back in our offense versus their defense.
Okay, how would you suggest?
Defensive tactic. Okay, well, it's fairly close. It's only a 6-point difference. So if you go to the strategy screen,
yep,
and change some of our offensive rules.
Okay, so maybe Vanek, instead of being a screener, becomes a power forward.
The main thing to look for would be things that keep your tactical points where they are or relatively close, but also our countering roles for Tampa's tactics, where they have that red, which will get you the most points removed from their tactical total, or yellow, which will move a few less. But I'm not sure if there's going to be any. You probably have to look through a few players to find a situation like that. Or you can see, if you look on the strategy screen right now, which guys have advantages. You can see how perimeter shooter, so you may want to switch. You're flipping through it. Again, it blocks the strategy screen every time you bring the pop-up up.
Sorry about
but
that.
if you'd see Larkin, you can see perimeter shooter is a major countering role for Tampa's defensive tactic.
Okay.
So if you look through, say, Nielsen,
okay,
who should be able to take that role and switch it from sniper to perimeter shooter, so he's basically going to be shooting from a little farther out.
Actually, we only got
a little more
three
space.
options with him. We have sniper, garbage collector, or speedy forward.
Okay, no, that isn't going to work then.
But I could set him to speedy forward.
Is that a countering roll?
No, that is, well, his first roll, and it's red, so.
No, that's you want to look at the points in the top right corner.
Yeah,
there's no point in moving a guy to a lower point total, lower tactical score if he's not going into a countering roll.
Okay.
You can probably, since the fourth line is always free form, you can probably get a couple of extra countering rolls in there if you go down to that.
How about that one? Okay, Steve Ott, we got set up for and we'll put perimeter shooter on Steve Ott. Anthony Mantha, is yellow okay? Setup man?
Yeah, it's not quite as many points, but it'll still, as long as you're not going down too much in his
we'll go 2 out of 5.
score. That'll so it's his contribution is limited because he's on the fourth line.
I can't see anything there.
Looks like setup man is a countering roll too, so
Yeah.
oh no, we're not. Our tactic isn't big on using playmaking guys, so that's not going to work that well. Okay, so you have to making a couple of changes. We need to get about 6 points there, so.
How about two-way forward on our second line, and we just got some reds. And so now we're actually, that actually gave us quite a bit more red here. And I think, wonder if our defense can help us out. Mobile defenseman seems to be doing.
Mobile, it looks like mobile defenseman's only on your defensive tactic.
Yeah.
It's only counting a roll against their offense, so it won't help you out with your offense versus their defense, which is what we're trying to do right
but
here.
it was still a nice little switch for De Kaiser to give us at least one more counter there. But it looks like we got
Okay,
reds
there you go.
all up. I feel much better about that across our second line.
Okay, so flip back into the game. We can see what that's done to the scores.
And we haven't moved at all. Do I need to start play maybe for that to take?
Yeah, I think so. Try it. It should
there we go.
change your tactical score. There
First stop here, we can see we're actually up on them on defense now. Power play, we're still back, but can't do too much about that. And power play, yeah, penalty kill and power play, but otherwise we're even offense to their defense, and better. Our defense is better than their offense, so.
Yeah.
I think that's a couple nice little adjustments, hopefully.
Yep.
And actually, Quentin Howden might fit in fairly nice on our second line there for now. If he can come in and be like a shutdown guy for us.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, even without the tactical changes, we were playing them pretty even, so maybe that'll push us a little bit past them. Be nice to get at least a point here.
Yeah, well, we'll see what we can do, right? And we're still getting badly outshot, but we're hanging on.
Yeah, so Mrazek, despite being cold, is actually playing reasonably well.
And we just had to say that, so Steven Stamkos comes down and scores a goal. Assist by Nikita Kucherov.
Oops.
Making it 2-1. Because of course he did. End of the second period, we're getting outshot 21-13.
You may want to try to go to the strategy screen and open it up a little bit more. Take a few more offensive risks.
Okay, so how do I do that?
Go to strategy, and then you want to click on global tactics.
Global tactics. All right. So then I want to change my tempo maybe to high.
Yeah, speed up a little bit. And,
high risk.
Take a few more offensive risks. Yeah.
High risk for offensive.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't want to go very high risk because that's just something you're going to do if you're down by like 2 or 3 goals.
All right. Let's do it. Let's see what happens. And we score immediately. Riley Sheehan gets a second goal of the game, assist by Andres Athanasiou. And Jonathan Erickson. Yeah, I like that. Some of those names are a little tough to say.
Yeah. So now do we back off the offensive risk taking since we got a tie back, or go for the win?
We go for the win. PWalk66 in the chat says, "I miss Bruce Martin, radio broadcaster on WJR, the voice of the Great Lakes," which I'm guessing was the Red Wings broadcaster. I don't know too many of the local guys. I mean, there was a time where you used to listen to the radio for a lot of games, but in this day and age.
Jim Robson for the Canucks?
It's fairly easy to get a video feed.
Yeah, just about anything.
Yeah, unless you're driving, in which case it's nice to have a radio on, listening.
Yep.
And we're pushing towards the end of the third period. game's very back and forth. We're up to 21 shots and held them to only 28. And they're actually, we're on a power play to end the game. Be a great time for us to score. And we didn't. We got to 20, outshot 29 to 26 because we took a penalty. And now it's 2-2 going into overtime. So I think we can safely say this is a better outcome than the Red Wings' real first game.
Yeah, that real 6-4 loss, we're at least going to get 1 point out of this, and let's see if we can get 2.
And so we're down 4-on-3 as we're coming out of the box, so it's 4-on-4. And Mrazek missed it, and they scored. Adam earned by Jason Garrison and Anton Stralman. Makes it a 3-2 game.
3-2 overtime loss. That's 1 point for the start of the year, so we're already ahead of the actual Wings.
Yeah, I consider that, pretty good. Take a quick look.
Yep, they didn't actually get a point until the third game of the season this year against Ottawa.
Taking a quick look at our game ratings. Nobody is... Well, Quentin Howden was a 49, but he had a defensive game rating of 42. I'm not going to blame him on that. That was probably
well, he's a -2 too.
Ryan Sproul was a 48 game rating as well on our defense, so that's not great either. So we might have to look at adjusting our defense as well. Maybe we should have looked at picking up a defenseman. Oh, okay. Have not checked it. There's a mail saying Vancouver Canucks Jets agree to trade. Any guesses?
Oh.
No guesses?
Yeah, the Sedins for Scheifele and Lina?
I might actually throw my computer out if that happens. Correct answer is...
I'd be happy with it.
Jake Virtanen for Brian Little.
Seriously?
Yeah. That's...
Wow.
I don't really know what to say to that. Interesting, I guess, is the word to use.
Yeah, that's a pretty Jim Benning-esque move.
I'm not sure the Jets would trade away Brian Little, but, it's not...
I mean, you're getting a first-rounder for him.
Yeah.
Former first-rounder. Even if he's been kind of screwed up by the Canucks this year, going up and down between them and Utica.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, that's going to make the Jets scary, assuming Virtanen develops properly. All those young guys under, 22, 23.
Yeah. Yeah. Five years down the road, they could...
Ehlers and Armia, yeah.
Pretty interesting. And just... Actually, I said, the Jets and Leafs played in real life last night. And the Jets had, what did they say, 267 man games lost this season, I think it was.
Yeah.
It's been pretty brutal.
That's the other thing we should mention about the Wings starting as them. You've got the really horrific Kronwall, Franson, Thomas Tatar, Joe Vitale, Zetterberg, and Thomas. I think the earliest guy back is still a month or two away.
Actually, Zetterberg, it said, just started skating. We got an update.
Okay. Oh, we got, so he must have be ahead of schedule. That's cool. That will help a ton.
Yeah, well, Quentin Howden, after having a bad game, comes in and helps seal the deal in the third period, assisting Darren Helm on a goal, and then assisting Dylan Larkin on a goal for 2 assists to win 5-3 in our next game versus Florida.
Okay, so yeah, if we can build up some points here, we got a shot at the playoffs. If we get the injuries back relatively soon and can stay reasonably stable at the start of this season. Yeah,
Quentin Howden, very respectable, 62 game rating.
Okay, so maybe he's going to do something.
He stepped up. Just taking a look. Zetterberg resumed skating. He could be fully recovered in 2 weeks.
No, that's way ahead of schedule. It's fantastic.
No. The question will be, who do we take out at that time? But we'll try and get this third game done, and then I think
Probably happen.
yeah, and we'll probably have to call it a night. Nyquist.
Oh yeah, we're coming up on the hour. We started a little earlier tonight, so
Yeah. Tyler Bertuzzi is more comfortable at playing center. Alex Goligoski just got knocked out for 19 months with a concussion.
wow, what happened? Oh, grade 3 concussion probably.
Whew. That's rough. Yeah, grade 3 concussion. Out indefinitely. Just signs a new contract and gone.
Oh man, yeah.
Rough going. And we can see some guys who are on waivers. Jay Beagle, Daniel Winnick, Chris Bork, and Taylor Chorney. Now, just because we're looking for a defenseman, we're considering a defenseman. We had Sprolin. And he's 1.5 stars, potential at 2.
Yeah, not really going to do that much for us.
Should we maybe have Marchenko in instead of Sproul?
Yeah, actually, that would probably make more sense, wouldn't it? He's rated a little higher than him.
I'm just kind of looking at that, so let's get Marchenko in there. Plus, if we're going to put him on...
Might even... Yeah, get him on the attention.
Okay, yeah, he'll be fine on playing some power play time, Marchenko. Try him out anyways. Just take a quick look. Goalies. That's good. Jimmy Howard's got 2-star for first fire. So let's get this game versus Ottawa played. And we'll just sim it through it here quick. And see that we lost 2-1.
You can see the Wings actually won that one this year, so
Dion Phaneuf
we kind of
scores.
reversed their start.
What? Oh yeah, Dion Phaneuf scores, and then Bobby Ryan quickly scores. Gustav Nyquist gets an assist, but we can't pull it off. Taking a quick look at Marchenko, he comes in and 58 game rating, 51 offense, 60 defense. And Justin Abdelkader just got hurt for 3 weeks. Because of course he did. And we'll worry about that maybe next time. PWalk66 in the chat says, now take trade offers on Zetterberg.
Let's wait until the season is kind of falling apart before we start auctioning him.
Yeah. We're trying to win here and keep the streak alive. All right. So I think maybe I'll do some tweaking before our next time since we have Abdelkader gone for a while. And see who I'm going to bring in or what's going to happen here. Maybe we'll just bring Glendening in or Callahan in. Or if we'll call somebody up. But we've been going on for close to an hour, I think, so probably a good time to say goodbye for now, if you're okay with that, Jeff.
Yeah, wind up here. Remember, have a look at the forum and grab the new download from the maintenance update if you haven't done that yet.
Yep.
Other than that, we will be back next week playing our 67 Kings game. We've got the team drafted now, and we can see if we can take a run at the Cup in our very first year.
Just as because we can, I'm going to take a look here. So yeah, the update, if you have a Steam version of the game, it should automatically update. That is correct, right?
Yep, it will do that unless you've got automatic updates turned off on Steam. in which case you would have to activate it manually, but I imagine most people have it set to just update.
All right. Well, thank you for tuning in to another Franchise Hockey Manager stream. We stream every Wednesday night. Excuse me. Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/OOTP Developments. If you miss this stream, then you're more than likely watching it on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/OOTP Developments, where all of our streams are archived. You can reach out to us on our Twitter, which is @FranchiseHockey. You can find us on Facebook. We are facebook.com/FranchiseHockeyManager. If you'd like to come talk to us on our official website, find out all the stuff about FHM3 or about the maintenance update, come talk about the upcoming Out of the Park Baseball 18. You can do so at ootpdevelopments.com. Click on that community button and it'll take you to the forums. Lots of people doing lots of interesting things and talking about just about everything you can possibly think of. Jeff, did I miss anything?
No, I think we got pretty much everything covered. So call it a night here, and we will see you guys back here next week with the 67 Kings.
Yeah. Thank you very much for tuning in, and have a good night.